taken out of their comfort zones because of this crisis. The pastoralists moving out, losing a lot of their cows and their lives. Nobody is a winner out of this crisis. The only solution is for the security to be up and doing in trying to bring in out perpetrators of this act.
No, but you can understand why Nigerians are troubled this morning. The last time you and I had a conversation on this platform was about a month ago, and we were talking about Benue State.
Exactly.
And I recall asking you about statements that were attributed to Miyetti Allah, not the Cattle Breeders Association of which you're a part, but of Kauto Hore. Very inflammatory statements to the effect that we will not accept the anti-grazing law, we can make this place ungovernable, etc. You disowned it as a statement of that particular leg of your organization. Now, this one comes out now, and you're saying it's just a personal opinion. At what point does your organization begin to take responsibility for this trending notion that there's a level of justification to the violence?
There is no how we'll take responsibility, because our association is a non-violent, non-political association established for the flights of the legitimate pastoralists we have in the country. And because of this, my attention was even drawn by an article I just read this morning in the Pilot newspaper, page 3 to be precise, where somebody said bloodbath and legitimization of terrorism, where he condemned Magban. I would like to make it categorically clear that Magban, you know very well, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association is entirely different from Miyetti Allah Kauto Hore.
That's right, yes.
The issues in Benue, the governor of Benue is having problem with Miyetti Allah Kauto Hore, not Magban.
That's correct.
Magban is not faceless. Magban has an office in Abuja. Magban is a legitimate association. Magban has respected traditional rulers as members and chairman board of trustees. So this statement coming from an individual who has no authority to come and represent this association in any way, and even if he has, we that have, we didn't come to the public.
But he was made chairman by a followership, not so?
Chairman, he has his own responsibilities. By making him a chairman doesn't give him the liberty to represent the association in any way. Those who are supposed to represent at the state level are the state chairman, the state secretary, and the PRO. On matters affecting their state, they are mandated to come and face the media and tell the world the perspective of the association in that state. If it comes to the national, even the national, we get our inputs from the state. Until when we have a written report, backed where necessary with pictures and lists of names, that is when we will have the authority to even go to the media, because we fear, we avoid statements that will backfire on us. So we have to have something that we can hold on to before we even face the media, before we even face the public and say the position of the association. We don't operate in a vacuum. We operate on basis, on modalities, on how the association was established. So this guy has no responsibility. He is not in any way mandated to represent this association on matters, on any type of a matter, for that matter, not on matters sensitive as this one.
Mr. Angelzama, at this juncture, let's take a look at kind of the nuts and bolts of what's going on the ground. We know that obviously there are some very severe differences between some of the herders and, of course, local youths at the moment. We've heard about the kinds of conflicts that have arisen between the two over time. Now, I'm sure you've had an opportunity to speak to some of your membership in Plateau State since this crisis has kind of unfolded. What has been their perspective when you hear about, this allegation out there that Plateau youths with weapons have been killing cows or stealing cows or whatever the case may be? Does that tally with what you have heard from your followership?
Well, you see, when things like this happen, the state branches are responsible to go and check, find out. And they normally report, when things happen to our members, they normally check, confirm, report to the appropriate security body in the state and the government, and they have been doing that. And when they do that, they send a copy of that report to us. So where the security is working on these things, we don't have to go public. We allow the security to do its work. The security know much about the genesis and how this crisis come to this level that it is today. They know very much because the branch of Miyetti Allah in Plateau State has been working closely with the government of Plateau State. They collaborated in bringing with the other critical stakeholders in the state and other cultural groups. They worked closely with the government to achieve the peace that was achieved before this occurrence. So they have their modus operandi on how they operate. When they do that, they send us a report. We work on the basis of their report. Even this one that took place, I spoke with the state branch. I said, well, can you give us a report of what are the genesis of this, just the recent one? We need a written report.
We're going to delve much deeper into that when we come back.